ready to level up our knowledge. Today we're taking a deep dive into all the rumors swirling around the Nintendo Switch 2.
Ooh, yeah, the Switch 2.
I bet you're already out there daydreaming about all the awesome games you'll be playing.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe even thinking about pre-ordering the second those pre-orders go live. Or are you more the type to get ready for some heated debates about the specs with your friends?
Yeah.
Well, whatever your reason for tuning in, you're in the right place.
You bet.
We're using, well, some intel straight from Wikipedia, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, both entries about the Nintendo Switch itself and kind of a general overview of Nintendo's history to figure out, well, when we might see this bad boy on the shelves.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because if we look at Nintendo's past, they've got a pretty consistent pattern when it comes to releasing their home consoles.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. The NES, the SNES, N64, GameCube, the Wii, even the current Switch, almost all of them launched in November.
Makes sense, right? It's like strategically perfect for them to be like the must-have Christmas gift.
Oh yeah, totally. Remember like when the Wii came out?
Yeah.
It was like impossible to find one of those things in December.
Oh yeah, total frenzy.
Did you get caught up in that at all, trying to snag one?
Oh yeah, I was out there fighting for a Wii on like Black Friday and everything.
Oh wow.
Couldn't find one anywhere. I was like scouring eBay and everything.
It was wild. But wait a minute, didn't the Wii U kind of break that trend a little bit?
Yeah, you're right. The Wii U came out like early 2012, right?
Right.
But that wasn't really about like holiday sales.
Oh,
If we dig a bit deeper into Nintendo's like their financials around that time, the Wii U came out after a period of some financial losses for them.
Oh.
So like releasing it early in the year, that was a deliberate move to try and get them back on track.
So it was more of a calculated risk to kind of get back in the game, not necessarily that they were abandoning their whole holiday strategy.
Exactly. And if we connect this to, you know, all the rumors about the Switch 2, it actually makes a November 2025 release seem even more likely.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because they're going to want to recapture that Christmas market dominance.
Right.
Launching right before the holidays.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way to do it.
Got it. November 2025. Marking my calendar right now.
Ah.
But, you know, a console is only as good as its games.
Yeah, true.
And the rumor mill has been churning out some really exciting stuff about what the Switch 2 is actually going to be capable of. I'm talking like better graphics, smoother gameplay, the whole 9 yards. What's got everyone buzzing?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the Switch 2's code name, which is Drake.
Oh.
And the possibility that it's going to use NVIDIA's Tegra T239 system on a chip.
Okay. For those of us who aren't like fluent in tech, what does that even break it down for us? Like, how is this new chip going to change the way we actually play games?
Well, think of it this way. A more powerful chip, that means better graphics, smoother gameplay, and maybe even 4K resolution.
Oh.
Like, imagine your favorite Nintendo games, but like even more visually stunning and immersive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're talking about a potential like huge leap in visual fidelity and overall performance.
Okay, now that's something I'm definitely interested in.
Yeah.
What else is out there?
Well, they're saying there might be a larger 8-inch screen,
Ooh.
which would be perfect for those like marathon gaming sessions.
Right.
And a redesigned, more robust kickstand. Remember the original Switch's kickstand?
Oh, yeah. Let's just say it wasn't exactly known for its stability.
Not at all.
I mean, I felt like a gentle breeze could knock that thing over.
Totally. It seems like, though, Nintendo's taken note and actually learned from that experience.
Yeah.
This new kickstand is supposed to be way more durable.
Okay.
So tabletop mode's going to be a lot more practical.
See, now this is where it gets interesting for me. Like, could this be the Switch that finally lets you comfortably play in tabletop mode on, like, a bumpy train ride?
Oh, like no more game over because of a sudden stop.
Exactly.
That's a great question. We'll have to see how this new kickstand actually performs in real-world situations.
Right.
But it definitely sounds promising.
Yeah, it does.
And the upgrades, they don't stop there. We're also hearing rumors about 12 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage.
Oh, I gotta admit, RAM and storage aren't exactly the sexiest topics.
Yeah.
Why should we care about those numbers?
Okay, so RAM is basically your console's short-term memory. More RAM means it can juggle more tasks at once, which means smoother gameplay, faster loading times, and potentially even more complex and detailed game worlds.
So it's like giving the console a brain boost.
Exactly. And then storage, that's like your console's hard drive. So more storage means you can download more games and store more games without having to constantly delete things to make space.
Gotcha. So more RAM, smoother gameplay, more storage, more games. I'm on board.
Awesome.
But what about the graphics? I've heard some whispers about something called DLSS and ray tracing.
Oh, yeah.
Are those just fancy tech terms, or are they like as groundbreaking as they sound?
No, they're definitely not just buzzwords. These are like cutting-edge technologies that can really enhance the visuals of games.
Really?
So DLSS, or deep learning super sampling, basically uses AI to upscale the resolution of games, which makes them look sharper and more detailed without sacrificing performance.
So it's kind of like magic, like
Yeah.
making things look better without slowing things down.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Wow.
And then there's ray tracing, which simulates how light behaves in the real world, so it can create these like incredibly realistic reflections, shadows, and lighting effects that you just couldn't get before.
Oh, wow.
Like imagine playing a game like Breath of the Wild with ray tracing. The world would feel even more alive.
All right, I'm officially hyped. But let's talk about something that's probably on everyone's mind.
Yeah.
Backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have invested a lot of time and money in their Switch libraries. They're probably wondering if they'll have to start from scratch with the Switch 2. What have you heard about that?
Well, good news. Early reports suggest that the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with existing Switch games.
Phew.
So, breathe a sigh of relief. All those amazing games you've collected, you can still play them on the new console.
That's a huge win for Nintendo fans. Imagine being able to revisit all your favorite Switch games, but on a more powerful console, maybe even better performance.
Yeah, it's a really exciting prospect. Welcome back to our deep dive into the Nintendo Switch 2. Before we moved on, we were talking about the possibility of playing your entire Switch library on the new console, and maybe even seeing those games run better than ever before.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing thought, right? Like revisiting all those familiar worlds with a fresh coat of graphical paint, maybe even smoother frame rates. But, let's not forget about the main attraction. Brand new games. That's what really gets me excited about a new console.
Oh, absolutely. What would a new console be without, fresh experiences to go with it?
Exactly.
I mean, while Nintendo's been, pretty tight-lipped about specific titles, their announcement video did tease a new Mario Kart game.
A new Mario Kart, you say?
Yeah.
Now, that's something I can get behind. I can already picture myself, battling it out with friends, dodging blue shells, and celebrating those sweet, sweet victories.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see some other, beloved franchises make a triumphant return as well.
Oh, totally.
Think, Metroid, Splatoon, Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Don't forget about a potential new 3D Mario game.
Oh, right.
I'm always up for a new adventure with our favorite plumber.
Yeah.
And with all the extra power the Switch 2 is rumored to have, just imagine the incredible worlds they could create.
I know, right? It's enough to make any Nintendo fan, giddy with anticipation.
Oh,
But let's shift gears for a moment.
okay.
And talk about, the online experience.
So,
The Nintendo Switch online service, it's evolved quite a bit since its launch, but there's always room for improvement.
for sure.
What are your hopes for the Switch 2's online features?
Well, first and foremost, I'm hoping for a much smoother online experience.
Yeah.
Laggy matches are the worst.
The worst.
I want seamless online play, especially for those intense competitive games.
Yeah, I completely agree. A stable and reliable online infrastructure is, crucial these days,
Yeah.
especially with online gaming becoming so popular.
Yeah, for sure.
What about features like cloud saves and the classic game libraries? Do you think those will carry over to the Switch too?
Those features have become pretty standard for most consoles, so it would be surprising if Nintendo decided to abandon them altogether.
Yeah.
Cloud saves offer peace of mind,
Right.
and those classic game libraries are a fantastic way to experience gaming history.
Yeah.
But I'm also hoping for some brand new online features.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they'll finally give us a proper voice chat system that doesn't require a separate app.
No, that would be a welcome addition.
Right.
It would make communicating with friends during online games so much easier.
Way easier.
Yeah.
And more enjoyable.
Totally.
Speaking of like connecting with friends,
Yeah.
I'm curious about like the social features.
Yeah.
Do you think the Switch 2 will like stick with the current system?
Uh-huh.
Or could we see something completely new, like maybe even a more robust social platform?
That's an interesting thought. Nintendo is always looking for ways to, like, innovate.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they had some surprises up their sleeve. Like, imagine a, like, dedicated Switch app
Yeah.
where you could connect with friends, share screenshots, videos,
Hmm.
and even join communities based on your favorite games.
Now you're talking.
Uh-huh.
I can already see myself spending like hours browsing those communities,
Yeah.
connecting with fellow gamers,
Totally.
and sharing my like excitement for the latest releases.
It's, like, exciting to think about all the possibilities, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we've only just scratched the surface of what the Switch 2 might offer.
We really have. And that's what makes this whole thing so much fun. Like, speculating about the future of gaming is almost as enjoyable as, like, playing the games themselves.
I agree.
What do you say we move on to the final part of our deep dive and wrap things up?
Sounds good to me.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the Nintendo Switch 2. Before we wrapped up, we were imagining all the cool social features and communities that could be part of the new console. Like, it really feels like Nintendo could take things to a whole new level with this one.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely an area where they have room to grow, and I think they know that. Like, building a stronger sense of community and connection among players could really enhance, like, the overall gaming experience.
Right. And think about all the possibilities. We could be like creating custom avatars,
Yeah.
showing off our like in-game achievements, or even streaming our gameplay directly to friends.
Oh, yeah.
It would be like having a like virtual hangout spot for all things Nintendo.
You know, all this talk about, like, community and sharing experiences,
Oh.
it makes me think about those rumors from a while back about the original Switch having, like, hidden VR capabilities.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what if Nintendo finally decides to jump into the VR world with the Switch 2?
Whoa, now that's a thought. Imagine exploring Hyrule in VR or battling Pokemon in a whole new way. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
It's a pretty tantalizing idea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But, I mean, even without VR, the Switch 2 is shaping up to be a major step forward for Nintendo. We've talked about, like, the potential for a November 2025 release, all those exciting new specs and features, and, of course, the possibility of playing our entire Switch library on the new console.
It's almost too much to process.
Mhm.
But hey, I'm not complaining. I'm all for Nintendo pushing the boundaries and giving us more ways to, experience the joy of gaming.
I think what's most exciting is that the Switch 2 seems to represent, like, a continuation of Nintendo's core philosophy, creating, like, innovative and fun gaming experiences that everyone can enjoy.
Absolutely. They've
Wow.
always done things their own way, and that's what makes them so unique and, beloved.
For sure.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, but I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Before we go, I want to hear from you. Knowing what we've discussed today, what Switch 2 feature are you most excited about and why? Head over to our social media and let us know. And while you're at it, why not do some more research of your own? The world of Nintendo is vast and always full of surprises. Thanks for joining us on this exciting journey into the future of Nintendo.